Okay, Sistas fans, just so you know, as of right now, we don't have any sort of like promotional trailer or teaser for season 5. All we know is that it's coming back in October, and since we didn't really get much of a follow-up at all for the one and only Karen scene of the episode, I've already mentioned in other videos that I think we should have gotten like a little stinger towards the end of the episode where we saw Pam like rush out of the back office or the bathroom or whatever, just calling or yelling for someone to call 911 due to Karen. And we didn't get anything like that. So we don't know if it was a miscarriage, a pregnancy scare, because I didn't think about it until recently, but I'm like, yeah, I remember in episode 1 that the nurse or the doctor that Karen went to make sure she didn't have any STDs from Zach cheating and whatnot. And just so you know, it is August 2022, so if STD is no longer the quote-unquote politically correct phrase for a disease transmitted due to sexual activity, my bad. I don't know. It's just that everything has been changing every single day. Pronouns, proper terminology for different phrases, sexuality and whatnot. So that's just my disclaimer, okay? So just so you know. Anyway, when it comes to Karen, the doctor mentioned that, what was she, 35 or 36? So at a certain age, you might want to consider like freezing your eggs or something, because since you're at a certain age bracket, you run the risk of more complications during a pregnancy. And since she's about 4 weeks pregnant, yeah, miscarriages typically happen before the 12th week. Who knows? And we just know that when it comes to Karen, all of the stressful situations she's been in mainly are due to her own, endeavors, like chasing after Zach and whatnot. And as of the last few episodes, the emotional episodes she's had, it's no wonder she's been breaking down the way she's been breaking down. And possibly it's all being culminated at, and we saw what happened to her in the salon. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is I've already talked about how I think that if there's a miscarriage or something, she'll probably blame Zach for it. And, he put me through emotional turmoil. And I can see her probably pulling a Gary, trying to sue for something, or pain and suffering, because, like she told Zach at the end of season 3 or the beginning of season 4, well, you know how long I've always said I wanted a baby and whatnot, because she's so sure of it being Zach's. And that goes back to something that I wish Andy would have said in the penultimate episode 21, when they were at Karen's house. They were getting ready to go to work, start their day, and they were at the kitchen table and they were talking, and Andy asked, "Are you how do you know, or how are you sure that this is Zach's baby?" He's like, "I can't really explain it, but I feel it." And I just want somebody to ask her. I just want someone to ask, Karen, you're beyond the mid-30s. You're knocking on the door of 40 in a couple of years. You've said how much you've wanted kids and whatnot. But then you've also, said how you don't want to have Aaron's child because you don't know him well enough, and, this and that, because you think it's Zach's baby. But the reality of the situation is, if you go through this entire pregnancy, you have the child, the DNA test is done, what are you going to do if it is not Zach's child? If it's Aaron's baby, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep the child, give it up for adoption? Are you going to be with Aaron? I mean, like I said in my other video, what was it, last week or so, is Karen done with Zach for good? It's just the fact that she claims, like, what, this is stupid, you can have him, because you're going to have to deal with this kind of thing all the time. I think that's just one of those Andy episodes that Karen had where, oh, she's done with Gary, I'm done, I'm moving on, this is stupid, this is crazy, after all the stuff you put me through, I'm done trying to get with you. And then within the next couple episodes, it's like, well, maybe he isn't that bad. I could definitely see Karen in a situation where she'll probably try to link up with Zach again. I hope we're done with that crap. I really am. But it's just one of those things where, let's say Karen does wind up in the hospital, and, you know, of course, her being taken away, she won't be able to go on her phone or anything. Do you think Pam will take it upon herself to call someone? Let's say maybe she would call Aaron. Maybe she would call Zach. I don't know. Because, I could be wrong, because, I mean, I know the show hasn't been gone a full week yet, but some elements I'm kind of like, wait, I don't know if this is actual fact, but does Pam even know that the child could be either or? I mean, the only way I think she could know is if she overheard Aaron and Karen talking about it prior to her going to the doctor, because you know how Aaron showed up to talk about the timeline, and she pretty much dismissed him, and then he was crying in the car. So unless Pam overheard that, I don't think she knows. I think at this point she probably assumes it's Zach's based off what Karen has been saying. But then again, this is Pam, so you never know. She could know. But regardless, I do feel like it would be pretty messed up if, let's say, she calls Zach and Aaron, and let's say both rush over to the hospital or something to see what's going down. I don't know if Zach would go. It just depends, because number one, him and Fatima just dodged a huge bullet with Tony, and they deserve a night, you know, just a day to relax. But it just goes back to the whole Tyler Perry just refuses to give these two a 24-hour period without any kind of drama or whatnot. So I really do feel like when it boils down to it, I could imagine, you know, maybe Aaron would definitely show. I feel like Aaron would probably be waiting outside of the hospital before Karen even arrived. And then, and not to mention, okay, they went to like a doctor. Aaron's friend is a doctor that works on pregnant women and stuff. So let's say if Karen goes to that specific hospital and Aaron's friend gets word of it, then maybe she would call Aaron to let him know. I don't know, but I'm thinking, like, to keep it simple, Pam might be the one to do the, you know, the talking and whatnot. So I honestly don't know. I like, imagine like if the doctor has Karen in a room, and you know Karen is, you know, unconscious or whatever, not in a coma or anything, but you know she's resting, and the doctor talks to Pam like, do you know who the father is? You know, so we can contact him to let him know what happened to Karen. And that's my thing, where I wouldn't say Pam is being messy, but Pam would only be doing what she thinks is right in that situation, because we know, like, she's kind of like been a mama hen to Karen since she found out about the pregnancy. But we'll just have to wait and see. You know, like, if Karen does have to go to the hospital and whatnot, who do you think will be contacted, and who do you think will show up? Will it be Zach? Will it be Aaron? Will it be both? Who's going to be the person to make the contact? So let me get your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I know this would be really messed up, but let's say hypothetically there is a miscarriage and, you know, the baby stuff is out. Do you think there would be a DNA test performed? Just for clarification. I know on the Oval it didn't happen with Sharon. You know, there was that truck accident because the Rakadushi wrecked Richard's truck, and him, Dale, and Sharon got injured. She had a miscarriage. There was never confirmation on who was the father of that unborn child. But with Karen, it's like one of those things where I hope it isn't left up to the imagination. I hope we actually find out something. So thanks so much for tuning in. I do appreciate the support on the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And I will talk to you in the next one.